Welcome one and all, Nyanko here, and today I am going to be talking about a small little anime series that came out back in 2006 called Black Blood Brothers! So I absolutely adore this series. I know it didn't get dubbed until like 2008. I've only actually watched it in dub because I love the dub cast, and I actually have, I'm not sure if you can see, but I have my DVDs signed by some of them. So yeah. If you don't know what Black Blood Brothers is, it is a series in which 10 years prior to the events of what is going to be the main story, a new bloodline of vampires came out called the Kulon, and they destroyed Hong Kong because the way that most vampires recreate is that they have to feed the blood of themselves to their intended turning victim. Whereas the Kulon, all they have to do is they have to bite you and then you transform. And they can also turn other vampires into Kulon children. So it starts in like this war, and then you've got Jiro, who is like our main character, so Jiro Michizuki, who also becomes known as the Silver Blade and the King Killer from this particular war, going around slaughtering all of the Kulon children because they're a threat to like the entire world with how fast they procreate, not regenerate. And then it kind of cuts into the future, and it's Jiro fighting with his friend Kuro, and it cuts to him and his little brother, who is called Kotaro Michizuki. And the story revolves around these two brothers. That's why it's called Black Blood Brothers. So in this world, vampires are known as Black Bloods and humans are known as Red Bloods. And basically, the gist of the story is you follow these two brothers trying to get to the Special Zone, which is the new version of Hong Kong after Hong Kong got destroyed 10 years ago. But the Special Zone is in Japan. So they go, they get caught on a ship. Now the Special Zone is very particular with who can come into the Special Zone because they're very cautious of the fact that Kulon children could still be around, and that they might not have wiped out all of them during the war. So yeah, you've got little Kotaro, who is a bubbly, fun, very happy child and looks a lot like Jiro's Turner/lover, Alice. This comes into play later. So they're on a boat trying to get to Japan to go to the Special Zone, and Kotaro wakes up early and is like, "Brother!" and like banging on Jiro's coffin, like, "Let me come play with me, I'm bored." And so Jiro's like, "Go away," because you don't wake Jiro up. So off he goes, like Kotaro goes and causes a little bit of mayhem on the ship, and then kind of comes across a gunfight, and it turns out that there is another group of vampires on the ship who are also trying to get to the Special Zone, but they suspect that there's a Kulon child among them. So the Special Zone, like, police force is trying to like wipe them out, which then awakens and angers Jiro. Jiro then gets involved, and then they get to Japan eventually. All of the vampires do anyway. And they then come across Mimiko Kusaragi, who is a compromiser. So she works for this company who handle the Special Zone and who mediate between humans and vampires. So after the war 10 years ago, humans were told, basically by a select few, that all the vampires had died out and that was it, no more vampires. When really the vampires have just kind of teamed up with the humans and they've gone into hiding to try and keep the peace of the world, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what the Special Zone is. It's a special place where vampires are allowed to live in relative peace, although it's not as sound as they would think it is, really. So yeah, basically Jiro teams up with Mimiko, and Kotaro also teams up with Mimiko. You find out more about his past with Alice and Casa, who is she's the main big bad for this series. She got turned into a Kulon child during the shock 10 years ago and is now hell-bent on reviving the Kulon king who was killed 10 years ago. because source bloods in this are immortal. They die, and then from their ashes they're reborn. So they're a little bit like phoenixes, but they're reborn as babies, and then you have to re-raise them. So the dragon, who is another source blood, I think he's a source blood. Yeah, he is reincarnated by this point. So he's like big at the beginning, and then when we meet him again, he's little. But is very powerful, and you'd want to mess with him. You've also got Kine, who's kind of like underling to Say, and he's part of like a prominent house as well, like a strong bloodline. And then yeah, basically the story is just about Jiro wanting to stay out of it now. He just wants to do what he has to do to bring back Eve, who is actually Katara. Katara is the reincarnated baby form of Eve, who was killed during the Kulon shock by no other than Casa. So Jiro's got a chip on his shoulder and wants to kill Casa because Casa killed Alice. Kotaro is like totally oblivious. Mimiko just wants to like keep the peace, and she's kind of falling in love with Jiro at the same time as well. So you've got that kind of triangle there. We also meet another really old blood called Zelman, who has this ability like fire ignite. So like he just has to look at something and boom, flames. He's really powerful. He's over 800 years old, I believe. So he's like one of the oldest normal vampires around, but is very, very powerful. Same as Jiro. Jiro's only 100, but he is super powerful. So it seems to suggest that vampires that have lived more than vampires that hit 100 and older are called old bloods, because they've been around a long time and they're quite powerful. And then you've got like the newer ones who are like the babies, and they seem to get killed off quite quickly, especially the Kulon children. Like everyone's afraid of them, so it's all like die. Now my only gripe about Black Blood Brothers is it leaves you in such a place that we never get closure. Well, you do. So there's this big battle at the end of the series. Casa doesn't get what she wants. She has to flee with her like teammates and stuff. Jiro gets to stay in the special zone and live with Kotaro and Mimiko. Now it's hinted that there's more to Mimiko than meets the eye. So her upper boss dude, so like her boss, yeah, there we go. He like says to Jiro, you need to protect Mimiko, like you have to look after her, which it's never like in the anime. You're left wondering who is Mimiko. She seems to be very similar to Eve in some senses, so Alice Eve. They have the same kind of mentality and stuff. And she's very hell-bent on protecting Jiro. Now, it could just be that that's because she got a crush when he drank her blood, or maybe there's more to it than we know. But we're left off wondering who the hell Mimiko is. We're also left with the information that when Kotaro revives again, like properly, like fully matures and becomes Eve the Sage again, Jiro's going to disappear because Alice is going to drain all of his blood and he's going to die, basically. So we're left with that knowledge. We're left wondering what Zelman's going to do in the special zone. We're left wondering how Cass is going to come back, and we're also told that basically Jiro needs to watch out for the revival of the Kulon King, because they've got his ashes and they've got them buried, and they're trying to keep him from reviving because he's a source blood, and source bloods can't be killed. Like I said, they revive into young children, and they can't have the Kulon King reviving. So we want to know who the Kulon King is, we want to know who Mimiko is, and it ends it nicely in the sense that Mimiko, Kotaro and Jiro go out on a job and they're seen to be working together. There's also something about a teddy bear that Alice wanted years ago. So back when Jiro was first turned, so it was probably in like the 1900s, 1800s? I think it's the 1800s. Anyway, back when Alice was still alive. And then Kotaro comes like running down in this warehouse with this giant teddy bear. And then there's like a letter in a box where he found the teddy bear. So again, little tidbits of information that is to go forward. But then they never made season 2. Now this seemed to be a big problem in like the 2000s. So like between 2000 and 2010, there was a lot of shows where they got like one season and then that was it. There was no more. I can list quite a few, but I won't because I'll start rambling about that. So yeah, Black Blood Brothers is one of them. It's a great show, and it's also based off of like a light novel series, but they did commission a manga. Now I haven't read the manga and I haven't read the light novels because they're not in English. I think there's fan scanlations online, so again I'm probably going to have to find them because, or if I ever go to Japan, I'll just have to buy them if I can get my hands on them and translate them myself, because that's the only way you're going to find out how it ends, is if you can get your hands on the source material and somehow read it. Now there's 11 light novels, so there was plenty of content for more manga or for another TV series, but obviously it was either not popular enough or they just decided that there wasn't enough content at that point in time to continue on with, and then they've just never revisited it. But yeah, that's my only gripe really about the series. Other than that, it's a fun story. I mean, it's vampires, you know. There's intrigue, there's backstabbing. What else do you want, really? Like, there's cute moments. The characters are all really fun. Well, I mean, Jira's got a bit of a stick up his ass, but I mean, you can understand that with the information that you learn about him. He's got a giant weight on his shoulders. But yeah, Mimiko's really fun. Is very dedicated to her work and is a very sweet person, to be fair. Kotaro is very naive and very interesting in the sense of sees the world through rose-coloured lenses. He's very different to what you'd think a vampire to be. Loves to be out in the day, doesn't get hurt by water, just seems to be a very general, like, loving, energetic child. Doesn't have any friends though, so Mimiko is his first friend outside of, like, the people he grew up with, which is grand enough, you know. The whole point of them coming to the special zone really is so that Kotaro can make friends, so he won't be lonely when Jiro disappears. So again, we need to know more. We need to know if there's a way to get around that or how the story ends. So yeah, if you want an interesting, fun, just like to distract yourself ride, definitely recommend Black Blood Brothers. It's super good. It will distract you. It's only 12 episodes long, so you can watch it in about 4 hours. I'm not good at maths. I think it's 4 hours. Or was it 3 hours? 4 episodes per disc, and they're about 20 minutes each. So yeah, about 4 hours, I'd say. Don't quote me, my maths is terrible. You know, you can pick it up dirt cheap online, or, you know, even eBay, it's dirt cheap at the moment. You know, I got these on Amazon donkeys years ago. And I think even then it was only like a £5 for all 12 episodes, so it's not expensive at all to get hold of them. If you don't like stories that are left open, where there's like information that you'll never get resolved, maybe give it a miss. But I definitely would recommend, you know, at least trying a couple of episodes, because it is fun. The dub cast is amazing. The Japanese was also very good. I went and watched a clip just so I could comment on it. But no, the dub is great. Like, the main guys in it are J. Michael Tatum, who you might know from other shows like Black Butler, and he's also in Boku no Hero. Then you've got Leah Clark. You might know her from shows like School Rumble and Soul Eater, and also she's in Black Butler. Is she in Black Butler? I definitely know she's in Boku no Hero. I can't remember if she's in Black Butler or not. You've got Colleen Clinkenbeard, who is just, everybody knows her. One Piece, Fairy Tail, Boku no Hero. Lucy Christian as well is in it, so again, another Boku no Hero voice. You've got Todd Habercorn, you've got Brina Palencia, you've got Jerry Jewell, so it's, you know, it's stacked with really good voice actors for the English. So yeah, give it a go. Highly recommend, love it, but then again, I am a vampire simp. I love vampire things. As you could probably tell from my Vampire Night video. But yeah, other than that, kittens, just comment down below what you thought about Black Blood Brothers. If you went and watched it after this video, let me know what you thought. If you've already seen it before this video, again, comment down below who your favourite character is and who, you know, you think Mimiko is, because, you know, I'm desperate to find out who she is. But other than that, darlings, take it easy. I give you much love, and I will see you next time. Bye!